Here we go.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I like it. I like it hot. I like it hot. Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. Yep. Why is it green? Damn. I thought you had a picture of a green screen and you green screened a green screen. Yeah. Huh. Hot tub. How's it going, Scott? Man, I'm great. Happy to be back in the hot tub. What's over? What is it? Oh, yep. Hey, wait. They're saying that you're muted, but they can hear me. And Don called me the other guy.
Fuck. I am muted. Son of a bitch. I'm not muted now. Somehow the volume got turned all the way to the bottom. All the way down. Now, can you hear me now? Just ruined another show, Charlie. Another show ruined. God damn it. And it's funny because I just told you guys about this code that I have for free stuff from Adore, and now you'll never hear it again. Never tell you. You're going to have to go back and try to read my lips.
No,
welcome.
I appreciate the free code.
The free code? Well, yeah, use that, Charlie.
ELiquid. Yep.
Yeah, you can buy as much Adore ELiquid as you want. I got the banana.
Yeah.
Now, Don, first off, I love Don. I have been stalking Dawn since last Friday. Do you know that, Charlie? Stalking her, literally.
Come on now.
Literally, like basically,
I've
been stalking Dawn.
Have curtains?
What?
Does Dawn have curtains on her windows?
Yeah, no. Well, not with my super duper microscope or micro camera. I can get in there and see everything she does. Well, no. Literally, I've been sending her text messages probably 3 times a day, just asking what's going on. How you doing? What's up? How are you? Tell me what's going on, Don. Ignoring me. She's been ignoring me, just like all my teenage daughters ignore me. Don has been ignoring me too. My daughters aren't teenagers anymore. They're in their 20s.
Does it get any better? Because our teenage daughter just always needs money for everything.
No. My oldest one just told me to fuck off yesterday twice. So I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The kids know better, ever. That way, I mean, have you been married? You've been married before, or you haven't been married?
I haven't been married before.
You haven't been married before? Jennifer gonna be number one?
Jennifer will be my first wife, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that. Before I hope am I in your wedding? Gonna be in your wedding? Gonna be the best.
Yeah, you can come to the wedding.
Come to the wedding. No, I want to be in it. I want to give a speech. Can I give a speech?
Okay. Yeah.
I like to give a speech.
Yeah, sure. We could have the wedding. Let's have the wedding in the hot tub.
Is there such thing as a hot tub wedding?
There is now.
All right, so welcome, Charlie. Welcome, everybody. You didn't hear my my welcome. Welcome to Thursday. It is the Vape Hot Tub here on the Vape at 5. With me, as always, the ever Hunky, the ever sensuous, the ever sexy, the ever gorgeous, beautiful, not a hair out of place, Hunky Charlie. What's up, Hunky Charlie?
My hair is getting a little out of place. I got to get a haircut. I may have better hair next show.
Listen, Charlie, you are the looks of this show. I need you in peak performance, peak appearance, sir. If we're gonna get we're really gonna reel the viewers in.
I think you were muted when you called me sensuous earlier.
Sensuous?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. All right, guys. So we're gonna start out. Got anything new this week, Charlie, that you got in that you want to throw up there and let our viewing audience take a look at?
I didn't get a lot of new stuff in the mail this week. I've got a few things on the way. I've got that Ardent coming for my Dreamer stack. And I got a few other things in the mail. What I did get, I actually opened it on the show, was the Sigeli S80.
Oh, nice.
I think is what it is. And it's a tiny little built-in battery mod. And I'm actually running it because it's the same height as the GT4 tank. And I thought it was hilarious to have a mod and a tank that were the same height.
That's way, yeah, I like that. Actually, that's a nice combo. I like that.
Yeah.
That's hot, man.
It's getting great battery life at 30 watts with this BlackCat Whiteface coil.
Is that the BlackCat Whiteface GT4 coils? I think I threw some more in there for you last package, didn't I?
That's all I run now. You did. I appreciate you sending those, Scott.
You're welcome.
You sent me like
You're welcome, brother. It was a little payback for sending me the Jenny. So I got a couple things actually in today. I got a couple things in that I had ordered right after New Year. I've been using 8 Vape. Now, I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but I've been getting really good prices on things. So I used them, and they were a little late on shipping. You actually do have to pay shipping with 8 Vape unless you spend over, I think, $125. And I didn't. So I had to spend like $5 on shipping, but ultimately it was still less than if I would have went to like Vapor DNA. But I got a couple things. I got some, I got the GOAT, and I want to take a look at that during the episode today. And I'll open it up. I'm going to wick it. Well, not wick it, but I'll install the coil and juice it up, and we'll go with that with some banana bondage. So I got that. I'm going to review this next Wednesday on the Vape at 5. So that will be, this is, of course, by Grim Green and Homeboy OC. And I got another request to do a review on the Bonza 1.5, which I was a pretty big fan of the original Bonza.
Yep.
So I think it'll be going to go ahead and I'll probably wick this one up next Wednesday after I do the GOAT. And it's either going to be, so we're going to the GOAT next week. Then I'm probably going to do the dual top side as soon as I get that in. And then the Bonza.
Oh, man, I need a dual top side.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be giving away one to the patrons. So
You need to rig it for me.
No, I can't rig it, dude. No rigging! That, like, I lose all credibility if I would do that.
You don't have any credibility, Scott.
Not very nice, Shirley. Not very
That was
nice.
a burn.
I'm still vaping on the Jenna that with a little bit of hazy custard in there. I've been loving it, man. Fucking fantastic vape.
Yeah, so now that you've got some time with the Jenna, I saw your review and everything, but just overall impression, you like the Jenna as far as being a daily driver?
Yeah. So for me, I don't take anything out of the house that I can't afford to lose. Pretty much. And as far as vape gear goes. And so I wouldn't take it with me as a daily banger just because I don't want to lose it. But I've been using it pretty exclusively in the house. I've been using it. Yeah.
I did too until I sent mine to some asshole.
Yeah, you have another one, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm not using it.
Oh, so that's your matching serial number?
Yeah. So you got my Jenna.
I'll be sending it back. I'll be sending it back on Saturday. Actually, I just washed the GOAT because I'm going to wick it. And I should have washed it, but I didn't. So I figure I use it during the show, and then I'll get it cleaned up for you and get it back out to you.
Oh, that's no problem, man. Thank you for doing that review, though. I really wanted to hear a builder's opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as the build deck goes, it is it's a really, really unique build deck for a 22 millimeter atomizer, in my opinion. Yeah. It's big. And you definitely could go dual coil on it, but I don't see why you would go dual coil. It just seems like overkill to me in this particular device, especially with that Ultim airflow control sitting right on top of it. Right. I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable with that. So I think it's a perfect single coil. And again, the way it squonks is fucking fantastic. It is a fantastic squonking atomizer.
Yeah, that's why I told you when you said you didn't even want to take the squonk pin out. I was like, dude, you have to. You got to experience this thing in squonk.
They give you an extra squonk replacement pin in the packaging. So you have the one in the atomizer, and then they give you another one. So in case you were to lose it, you have an extra one.
Yeah.
And, Brandon, the gentleman at Raven's Moon, has been really responsive to me as far as questions. So I think he would probably send you another one if you asked. Just be like, hey, dude, I lost it. Can you send me another one? He would send it to you. I don't think that'd be a problem. Yeah, super cool dude. All right, so let's start it out. Let's get this hot tub rolling. You ready? Enough of this hub job, bub. Let's get it started. Got anything? We're going to start with a little news in the funny news. You got any funny news for me, Charlie?
I've been excited since Monday. I got up. I was out running errands, driving to the office Monday morning about 5:30 in the morning. And I had just got in the truck and I was like, I'm going to have to pay attention to the news so I can hear some good funny news. So this guy attempts to kidnap a woman. This was on the news Monday. I think it may have been over the weekend. A guy attempts to kidnap a woman and she gets away from him during the kidnapping and takes off running and runs into a karate studio.
Good place to go.
Yeah, so the guy chases her into the karate studio and she runs in, is like, oh my God, I'm being kidnapped. I need you guys to help me. And then a minute later, a dude runs in and he's like, I'm just looking for the woman that just came in here. And they're like, oh, are you? So they beat his ass. So
that's awesome.
Seriously, they call 911 to kick his ass and hold him down. So the police get there and the guy tries to start a fight with the police.
That's smart.
Yeah, it didn't go over well for him. The quote in the news story was, he tried to start a fight with the police. Officers took the suspect into custody. He was arrested and carried out on a stretcher.
First off, going into the karate studio, I picture like 7-year-olds with like yellow belts on, kicking the living shit out of them. That's what I picture.
Yeah, that's even better.
and the second part of that story, trying to fight the police. Let me give you some advice. This is BlackCat wisdom. You guys ready? Everybody in chat ready for this? Don't fight the police. You won't win. No, I'll guarantee you won't win. They will win every time.
If they've already got you, yeah.
They will win every single time. My buddy found that out the hard way. They carried his ass out too, man. Fucked him up good. Gave him what for? That's for damn sure. He shot his mouth.
I saw a guy who he didn't try to fight the police. He tried to fight the police dog.
Oh, shit, really?
It didn't come out good at all. He apparently he was a little stalkerish and him and his ex-girlfriend had broken up. And so he said he forgot his wallet at her house. So she wasn't home. And he went in her house to get his wallet. And I don't know how long he was there, but she called the police. So they were like, we've got the house surrounded. Come out. And he was like, screw you. I'm not scared of the police. You're going to have to come in and get me.
Come and get me. That works out well, too.
So
that typically works out great. Just don't come out. You don't have to do what they tell you to do, Charlie. Just do whatever you want. Don't come out.
So I guess when they said we're going to send the dog in, he didn't believe them. So they send the dog in. They don't even have to go in the house. Apparently, this police dog was a veteran police dog.
Yeah.
He goes in and gets the guy and brings him to the front porch. And it literally looked like the guy had been run over by 2 lawnmowers at the same time. His pants were just like little shreds of denim hanging from his waist.
Oh, those dogs will fuck you up.
Yeah.
They're strong as hell. Do you ever watch Live PD?
Oh, yeah.
Live PD had I don't know where it was, somewhere probably near you. I think it was in Louisiana or Arkansas, one of those 2 states, southern states, southern western states. And they were chasing somebody who had stolen a car went on a high-speed chase, and then they had jumped out of the car and started running, and they ran into this woods. And so they got the canine unit there, and they're going back in these woods looking for them. And there's this ravine, and the dog is barking. The dog's going nuts, but they can't see. It's dark out, so they know somebody's down there. Yeah. They can't see him because the dog is telling them it's down. Somebody's down there. So they yell out, so-and-so police, county police, I'm going to let the dog go if you don't come up. And no response. They say it again. No response. I'm letting the dog go. No response. They let that dog go, and it was literally like 15 seconds later, you just hear somebody screaming for their life. Yeah. Screaming for their life. Get this dog off me. Holy shit, what the fuck? They got her. It was a lady.
Probably sounded like Scott. Yeah, it probably sounded like Scott Zegans when he saw that squirrel. Blood-curdling 13-year-old scream.
He might be in chat. I don't know.
But I could see the suspect screaming like that. There was a live PD episode. They turned the dog loose. It was a Labrador.
Oh, yeah.
The dog actually had to jump over an object and just took a flying leap about 12 feet in the air. The dog just flew across and knocked the suspect down and then got on top of him. I mean, those police dogs are the closest thing to superpowers I think I've seen.
Yeah. So there's this I used to, and I still am, but I love dogs. I love animals pretty much. I really like dogs.
I'm a dog guy. Yeah.
And, I'm a cat guy too, but I watched, the police dog Olympics a couple years ago. And, surprisingly, I just assumed they would all be shepherds, either Belgian shepherds or of course German shepherds, things like that. But They weren't. There were Rottweilers in there. There was, and there were Labradors. Labrador retrievers in there, and they have one event. They have a couple different events that they do, but one of the events is they measure how hard the dog hits, and what I mean by hit is latch on. So it runs and then it jumps and it latches on to you, and they hold this pad, and I think they have some kind of ability to test force with it, and the Labrador blew everybody away. I was shocked because you thought
really.
You would think, I would assume the Rottweiler would, being so strong and big. No, the lab. And you're right. It jumped 14 feet. It literally took off in the air like Superman and hit this pad and knocked the guy. The guy was like, oh, when it hit him. He was like, holy shit. And it hit by far harder than the Shepherds and harder than the Rottweiler.
And really, I mean, the only thing that would be worse than going in front of a judge saying that you started a fist fight with a cop is to go in front of a judge for fighting a police dog, because the judge is going to be a dog guy anyway, and the police dog, you're going to be fucking under the jail.
They're actually, and I don't know that we got to get off this topic because I'm sure people are like, what the fuck are they talking about? But we
are doing a show. That's right.
That in the military and in law enforcement, police dogs are actually officers. They're actually lieutenants.
They're badged and shit.
They're lieutenants. So if you were to mistreat a dog in the military, then it's assault on an officer, court-martial.
Yeah, I know with police dogs, it's homicide in a lot of states, just like with an officer. All right, so back to vaping.
We give a little variety on the vape hot tub. It's not all about vaping. That's what we're vaping. We're in a hot tub. Apparently, I need to treat my hot tub because it's nice and green.
Yeah.
But we're in a hot tub. We're just having two dudes having a conversation in a hot tub with our pants off. Normal Thursday.
With green slime all over.
The green slime. All right. So any more? Do we have any more news before I move us on to our next topic, which I'm excited about?
I've rattled enough going.
So the next thing I want to talk about is a video that I saw earlier this week, and it's from a gentleman that everybody knows, and I just adore the guy. I think he's hilarious. It's Vaping with Twista 420, and he did a video earlier this week, and the title of the video was "Voopoo is canceled." Did you see this?
Yeah, I did. That was a great video.
And it's so funny because he does he's so melodramatic in the beginning. And I love how he did it. He's like, Voopoo and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and I just got to say, and he's like, Voopoo is canceled. And he moves on.
Yeah.
So did you get the gist of the video that he was talking about?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I thought he hit the nail on the head. I think he took a good stand. And I liked Vaping with Twisted 420. He's from Texas. I'm from Louisiana. I mean, he's kind of like Joel. It's hard not to like him.
Yeah.
But I thought he really took a stand against Vupu and put his money where his mouth is, so to speak.
So ultimately, the story is that he had signed a 3-month, I believe, contract with Vupu to promote product.
Right.
And it was like he has a manager that manages his money, whether it be an accountant or lawyer, but somebody in that position.
Yeah, it's an assistant, basically. Right.
Yeah, who does his contracting and things like that for him. And you know, guys, when you're at that level, he's $350,000, isn't he? Something like that.
It's crazy.
When you're at that level, you're getting paid. You're getting paid. I mean, it's a full-time job, and you're making good money.
Right.
And so basically, he signed a contract with them to do some reviews of their products. And when he saw the video with the gentleman from Ben Phillips from the UK and Vupu promoting their new drag or whatever the hell it is on a show that's intended for like 9-year-old kids, you know what I mean?
Right.
This is such bad taste. Such bad taste.
Yeah.
And he decided that he basically told him to fuck off. And one point he made, and this is something that that you talk about, is he said he wished he would have done it more when Tony B. Like, it just sewed up the thing with Tony B for him.
Right. Yeah. And that's right. A lot of the Tony B thing was a he sees, she said kind of hearsay situation. And yeah, it could be read from either side. So I understood people not taking a huge stand on it. And everybody makes mistakes. But now this is the second time that big shit's happened. The company's got a reputation. Now, unfortunately, they'll probably just rename and pop up as something else tomorrow.
Same with Tiger Tech, right?
Right. But I don't think this is going to affect him that bad unless more reviewers start taking a stand.
Yeah.
But think about how many sales they lost with vaping with Twisted 420. Because the people that have a problem with him is because what I hear the most often is he just does promotion videos, paid promotion videos for companies. They're not real reviews. And it's because he's marketing and he's selling devices. And that's going to hit him where it hurts.
And there's a fine line between a commercial and a review.
That's right.
You know, and I hate to say it, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, it is what it is. I like Twisted 420. And I'll say it. I like Rip Trippers. I don't have any problem with them. I think like I do watch Rip, and I watch him because I really like his editing style. I really like it, and I really wish I could learn how to do it. So I watch his videos because they're engaging. He engages you right into the video, and it moves really, really well. It's quick.
Yeah.
And that's like the style that I want to try to do because that's what people like. But, you know, I think people kind of give people shit because it's like, well, Rip's just selling product. Well, of course he is. That's his business. You know what I mean? So, if you want a really honest review, then you should go to a reviewer that gives you that type of review. Rip isn't giving you that type of review. And I think in a lot of cases, Twista isn't giving you that type of review either.
Right.
You know, and
that's right.
You have to come. That's what you come to expect, and I think you shouldn't be, but you shouldn't hate on them because it's not the type of view that you like. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, and I don't watch either one of them for serious reviews. If I want a serious long review, I'm gonna watch someone else. But for a general overview of the products, I think they both do a great job. I don't watch Rip much anymore, but I learned a lot about vaping from Rip Trippers years ago.
First Clapton I ever saw.
He was captivating and he was funny.
Absolutely, and he's silly. I mean, it's not intended really for my demographic, 45-year-old men, hobbyist. I mean, we're hobbyists in this type of, I mean, and so we're going to go with the people that are more, they're going to give you more information about a product. We're a little bit more educated in the products, and so we're not really going to go to him for advice, but at the same time, it's entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Absolutely. Yeah. So the Twisted thing, I was really happy to see him do that. And I think that other people are going to follow suit. At least I hope so. Because quite frankly, it needs to stop. It really, needs to stop.
And I will say that the first one I actually saw was on a live show after it went down, Heavy Metal Vapor. was reviewing products for Vupu. And actually, I think that night he was vaping one of Vupu's products, but he had already shot Vupu reviews and had a couple queued up in his YouTube queue. And he pulled them both down when that happened. He just said, I don't want to be part of what's going on with this.
That's amazing. Well, good for him, dude. That's one thing about Heavy. Heavy pretty much stands by what he says.
I don't know if I would have done it knowing how many hours goes into making that review, and I already had it shot and produced. All the editing and production was done. Yeah. That's tough to just throw it away.
And I know as a YouTube creator, when you delete a video, you lose all those views.
Right. Especially a Vupu video.
Yeah. You lose all the views on your count, and in your count is what your view count, subscriber count, is what moves your videos up in the queue for people to look at. You know, that's why as a new YouTube channel, it takes years to get into that algorithm that gets you up in there, so that you are, you know, like somebody can put out a review for the same product you do. You do a 10 times better review, but people aren't going to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work, and to delete a video, say it has 5,000 views, you're pulling 5,000 views out of your total. That's not something I'd have a hard time doing that, especially with how low my views are.
Yeah.
Comparatively. All right, so I mentioned that I got the GOAT RDA. I wanted to do a little wick, and I'm going to wick it, and I'm going to vape it the remainder of the show. So I'm going to. I wanted to take you guys down low and show you the RDA and show you what all comes with it and everything. Well, probably not everything that comes with it, but I'll show you how it comes in the package, how you can wick it up, and things like that. I haven't done this before, so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah, I really want to hear it. I want to hear your opinion on that, because
out of the box, yeah.
And a lot of builders are worried that they're kind of putting themselves out of business when you go to this style of RDA. So,
if it's done correctly,
right,
it would be the next logical step. If it's done correctly, then I think it's the next logical step. Yeah. But I think there'll still be builders, because maybe not as many, but it's still a craft, you know, and people still like it.
And everyone does it because it's a craft and it's a form of art. It's not for the business. Right. I mean, there's a few builders that are making money on it, but they wouldn't quit building if they weren't making the money on it.
Yeah, I certainly. It's therapy for me.
Right.
I mean, 100%. All right, so let's go and bring this down. We'll take a look at it. Let me get the macro going here. They can still hear you, Charlie, in case you want to. All right. There we go. So let's get this out of here. So there's the packaging it comes in, guys. The GOAT, not very big, nice and small. There's the RDA with a little GOAT on top of it. Here's your 2 coils that they send to you. There's a 22 gauge round wire spaced coil right there, and 24 gauge. I'm not sure which is which. It says on here which is which. So let's look for the 22 gauge. Here's the 22. So let's get this out of here. Let's get all this out.
That black GOAT looks sick.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's very similar. So I already washed it. Here's some extra O-rings and things, and I'll have the full review on it Wednesday, but let's get this all out of here so they can see it. So there it is. That's the actual RDA right there. Has a 2-piece top cap, got a barrel and a top cap, 810 drip tip, goon style. Very similar, as everybody has already mentioned, to the goon. Your airflow is kind of off-center. It's low. It's not mid airflow. It's kind of like a low mid airflow. Take this off here and take a look at the deck. I got the matted black.
Is the airflow a little bit lower than it is on the Goon 1.5? Or is it?
Let me grab one. I'll grab one for comparison. Stand by 1 second. No, it's about, well, yeah, you know what? I think it is, actually. So this is the Goon. This is actually the titanium Goon. And if you look at them side by side, it's actually smaller. Airflow is smaller, but relatively the same spot. Well, no, a little lower. You're right. The actual RDA is actually smaller. It's not as tall as the Goon.
Yeah.
If you look at the bottom here,
it's definitely more squatty. Yep. And
it's a little bit more squatty, which I kind of like.
I do too.
So let's put this one back.
So is it 24 or 25 millimeters?
I believe it is 24. 4 millimeters, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to figure that out before the.
You don't have a micrometer handy?
I do, actually. Yeah, I could measure it, but then I would have to deal with everybody yelling at me. Here's the deck. On the deck there it says Grim Green and OC. Bring that down just a touch so you guys can see it. Try to focus that in for you. There we go. So Grim Green and YOC. I don't know what the Y. Do you any idea what the Y stands for?
Yuck, because homeboy OC, YOC, Grim and Kent used to call him Yuck.
All right.
So it's just a nickname.
Here's the coil.
But it says Grim Yuck, not Grim Green. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, Grim Yuck. All right, well, got to put your name on it, I guess.
I bet you love having me on here correcting you.
No, I appreciate it, quite frankly. So here's the coil that they give you out of the package. Right there. There it says Anarchist, because that is the type of round wire that is used. Anarchist used to be a really, really popular type of wire. Not so much anymore. I think we just screw it in here, I assume. Yeah, so let's just screw this in. And I'm going with the 22 gauge, which I believe is 0.14 ohms. So there we go. Now, one thing I'm going to mention is if I was really going to use this as a consumer, I'm doing this just basically for the review. If I was going to do this, I would actually take the cotton out of it and heat it up and burn and actually wash those coils first and then heat it up. But since I'm doing it for a review purpose, I want to get like an out-of-the-box experience and not worry so much about getting it suitable for me. Now,
so you didn't wash this cotton earlier?
No, I didn't wash the cotton.
Okay.
I did wash the RDA barrel and deck prior to the install. I put it in the ultrasonic just because I'm a germaphobe and I don't want to get that. I don't know. I get weird about that shit. All right, let's move that up just a touch. There we go. Cut some of that off. Come on. Get that out there. All right. Cut off a little bit of the grimies. And there. All right. Let's tuck this in there. Fits in there nicely.
I think your other tails are too long.
I'll be all right. Maybe not. You're probably right.
I'm just saying I could do it better blindfolded.
Yeah, we found that out last week, didn't we?
Yeah, you asshole.
Shit. Get that off of there. All right. Let's move this in here. Around there. Off. Take this one here. Like how I talk to myself through it. I do this when I'm not on camera too. I talk myself through things like this.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking to the wicks.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm talking to.
I do that. I'm like, get in there, little fellow. You need to tuck behind the post.
All right, I like to clear out the area below the coil. All right, let's set it on top of a mod here, and we'll get it wicked. We'll juice it up, and then fire it up. Bring this up just a touch.
Don't get nervous, but we have a celebrity in the house. Mr. Addy Tooney is in chat.
Addy! Addy's my man. What's up, Addy? How are you, sir?
Freaking staple of the vape community.
All right, we're going to be using a little banana bondage for Miss Dawn at a door to get this thing nice and juicy. Ohming out at 0.13. Oh, well, that wasn't good. I'm a little messy with my juice, if you guys didn't notice. Look at that nice, beautiful color on that. I steep all my Adore. This has been about a 3-month steep, maybe. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's see how this thing get a little bit down here. And
that's one of those flavors that's just always good when you pick it up.
Absolutely. Ooh.
You're skeeting your juice all over the place in the hot tub, though.
I am. Did you say skeet?
Yeah, it said skeet.
So I didn't actually burn the coils in. Now they are spaced. So I guess for all intents and purposes, you really don't need to, but I always like doing that just because they're not washed. And I like to burn stuff off of them.
Kills the germs.
Yeah. So that's what you're looking at. 22 gauge round wire build, spaced. All right, bring this in just a little bit more.
So while you're up close, I would like to see the top of the coil head, if you don't mind. Maybe pick it up a touch.
Sure. Focus in on it.
I wanted to see how the coils are labeled.
It should be right there. Let me see if I can wipe that off. Right there, 22 gauge.
Okay.
So you would just go ahead and just replace the actual coil. I would assume it's anarchist wire, which is, I believe, is pretty decent wire.
Yeah, it is.
So I think it would last fairly long. And you could just replace the cotton. The thing is, though, if you're buying this, you may not have cotton available. So I guess their big plan is for people just to replace the whole thing when the cotton goes bad. And I don't know what the price of those are.
Yeah, I think that this and a bag of cotton threads and people are just going to be golden. If I was them, I probably would have released some Homeboy and Grimm laced cotton with the little anglets or whatever, aglets, whatever.
Aglets on it. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Actually, we should corner the market. Now I'm thinking about it. All right, let's get this cat back on here. I'm going to bring it back up top. We'll have a vape on it. See what we think. All right, let's go back up top. All right, there we go. So that is the GOAT RDA. Now, if you're not familiar, GOAT RDA, it is intended for not really the hobbyist vapor. It's intended for somebody who's making the transition from a sub-ohm tank over to a rebuildable, but isn't really confident enough yet, or doesn't feel confident enough yet to make their own coils, wrap their own coils, wick and RDA. They just haven't gotten to that point yet, which I think there's a general uncomfortableness about it. I remember the first time I built something, I was kind of like wondering how it was going to go. I just did it. So I get the market for it.
Yeah,
I do. All right, so here, let's
I think it's a great bridge device for people who aren't quite comfortable. The only thing that I don't like is it kind of removes that aspect of the importance of an ohm meter for a new vapor.
Yeah, because, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Just because that's always the first thing that I start with, because in my opinion, before you buy a spool of wire, you should buy an ohm meter.
So the way that anarchist plate, I guess you'd call it a plate or the top of it, you drip right down onto it, and then it flows right off onto the coils, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see the juice displacing right onto the coils, which is nice.
Yeah, I like it. To me, it looks like it's a good design for dripping and for squonking, the way that it squonks right over the coils.
It vapes pretty good. It's not fantastic, but I think it is what it is. And it is certainly, I mean, it's actually better than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
How's the flavor's good on it?
Yeah, I think it's man. Definitely. I think it's as good as I expected it to be, Charlie. There's what it looks like there. I don't have it perfectly tuned in, but that's the look of it.
I think it's a sexy beast as far as visually, with the badass goat logo on it like that.
Yeah, I mean it's not an ugly RDA, that's for sure. It's basically just a Goon 1.5 ultimately with a little smaller airflow and a little bit shorter than the actual Goon. The Goon, I always thought the Goon was kind of tall. And this one is definitely a little bit shorter. The juice well is not deep. I bet you the juice well is about maybe 3.5, 4 millimeters, which is adequate, but not deep, you know? So. Nice. Now, if you look, when you put it into squonk mode, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but do you see that hole up top? right there.
Yeah,
that's where it squonks out of. There's one on either side, so it goes right onto the coil. So I will be putting this in squonk mode before, but I'm going to drip. I always drip them first to kind of get an idea how I like it, and then I'll throw it into squonk mode after that before I actually do the full review on it. And there's the goat. All right, so that's the goat RDA. Like I said, next Wednesday we'll have a review on it. You can pick those up. I believe they're about $36 to get one. So if you're wanting to move from a sub-ohm tank over to a dripper, you don't feel confident about it, I'm getting decent flavor off of it. I think it's adequate. I mean, I wouldn't say it's fantastic. I wouldn't compare it to, like, I'm vaping this and the Jenna at the same time, which is certainly not a fair comparison at all. It's kind of like judging like a high school football team versus a pro football team. But there you go. All right, so we both got our Jennas this week. You were kind enough to send me your Jenna, one of them, to review. What are your what's your thoughts on? Let's go through the whole process. Let's go through you receiving it and up into using it. What have you thought?
I was a little nervous as far as on the receiving side because I knew shipping had been a little bit delayed. Jay was very unhappy with the time frame that Brandon gave a time frame on the Jenna, which probably wasn't the best decision looking back on it with hindsight. That was not conservative enough, and he didn't meet his timeline that he promised people he was going to meet.
You're speaking of Brandon?
Yeah. So I was a little anxious about that, but I was really curious to see the build quality because I have a 502 and the machining is just impeccable. So I got my Jenna, and I mean, I went over it with a fine-tooth comb looking for imperfections or shortcuts that might have been skipped in the rush to get it shipped, but mine was rock solid. I didn't have any blemishes or anything. A few people actually, Jay got his Jennas that had VG, extra VG on them. I didn't have any of that with mine. Mine were 43 and 85 off the line. But as far as receiving it, I was really happy with it. And then vaping it, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is a great vape. It really is. And
what surprised me the most, I haven't really been a huge fan of Postless decks. It's fun to build on. The Jenna is just so easy to build and rebuild. It was a little refreshing for me. One day I put duals in it, then went back to singles. I think I rebuilt it 3 times one night and the next morning. So I enjoyed it more than I expected.
Not having that okay, as far as flavor goes, I think postless decks are really the way to go because you don't have that obstruction in the middle of the RDA that will impede the airflow up into your mouth hole, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the postless decks, as far as flavor goes, really, and we really saw that originally with the Dead Rabbit and the Drop. Those are the first 2 that I really remember mass-produced that were postless decks. And there may be others that I'm forgetting, but I'm sorry if I am. And those 2 really took the flavor to another level, in my opinion, upon some of the other RDAs I was using, because I was strictly a goon guy forever.
Yeah.
So I think
the Jenna, I'll tell you something else that surprised me on the Jenna, and it went both ways, was I knew flavor was going to be good. I was surprised how good the flavor was and the different notes that I picked up in a couple of juices that I vaped. And one juice that I vape in the Goon and the Golem all the time, I usually drip it. I picked up the flavors that I didn't like as much. I picked up the sweetener way more in the Jenna, and so it wasn't that good. I went to a different flavor, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just whatever that airflow does, where it goes down the side and actually goes under the insert through the coil, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, the insert is, and I think that moving forward, I think you're going to start seeing, I think that's going to become a trend. You're going to start seeing that. You have a Vandy Vape has one. I believe Tony B's new RDA has it as well. You have the Citadel, both Chinese made, and then you have the American made product, the Jenna, with those Ultim, with real Ultim inserts, so you don't have to worry about sucking down a bunch of plastic.
Right.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. I didn't use the other. I haven't used the other one yet, but I've used the one with the dual airflow.
Yeah.
And has the hole in the top of it. I think that most people are using, and
Right.
it's fantastic. The flavor on it's fantastic.
Yeah. I used both of them. The other one, it just felt a little strange because I'm used to spit back. Everything that I vape is 810s. And that one was such a dry vape, it felt a little funny.
Yeah. I'm not a dry vape guy. I don't like that at all. I like it to be
Yeah.
spitty. Even in my RTAs, I want it to be spitty.
Yeah, I didn't know how much I liked spit back until then, and
Yeah.
no, I'm a fan of the spit back.
You're a fan. You're a spitter, not a quitter.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you a spitter? Not you're a spinner quitter. The so I got mine and I reviewed it yesterday. When I first got it, I mean, I didn't notice anything. I washed it again, but before I washed it, I didn't notice anything, any kind of imperfections to it at all.
Okay.
I didn't notice anything. So it was pretty much out of the box, when I reviewed it.
So when you pulled it out of the box, was there VG on yours? Any like extra VG?
No.
Okay. I didn't have any either.
No, and I took the insert out immediately and looked at it, and there was no VG. I didn't take the airflow control, the little airflow control thing on the top. I didn't take that out, but I did notice when I removed the drip tip that it was tightly secured in there, like kind of stuck to that airflow control on the top. I did notice that.
Yeah, the first few times with my drip tip was the same way. Really, even when I sent it to you, I had used it and washed it and stuff, and it's a tight seal trying to get the drip tip off.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Keeps you from losing it.
But all of my drip tips worked for the airflow control. I threw in because I wanted to see if some of them would be too loose. I threw in a recurve, another Watofo 810 that I had, a Delrin tip from my Haze mod. I probably put 6 drip tips on, plus the one it comes with, and they all work the airflow control without getting sloppy.
Yeah, there you go. I haven't tried any other drip tips. I like that. I like that drip tip a lot, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic, and I think the look of it is fantastic. I just love the nice, classy, neat.
I ended up using my Stabwood drip tips for a couple pictures, and then going back to the one it came with, just because I like the way it vapes.
Absolutely. We got a question in chat. They want to know, and I'll ask you this: why do people pay $90 for an RDA when the market is around $35?
That's a good question.
It really is.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because I've been vaping a long time, and to me, $90 is on the cheap side compared to what we used to pay for Chinese RDAs. My Goon version 1, I think I paid $90 for, or $85 for in a vape shop. But it's just a small, made in America, hand machined by one guy. Every RDA is hand checked, and a small run. They cost a little more, and some of that is supply and demand. The market is there.
Yeah.
It's coming from, it's designed by Jay, and he's got the market there, and he met the performance, in my opinion.
And I'll be completely honest. I think that it is, I think there's a status thing to it as well. Having an RDA that, I think that plays a part into it is, a person's need, my own need. I won't talk for other people, but my own need for like that kind of recognition that I have something like that. I think that plays a part into the price and paying for it. But I also think that if you're putting American made on something, it carries weight for me. It still does. It still carries weight for me.
Sure.
My generation is not that far outside of the Industrial Revolution. I mean,
right.
Maybe 50 years away from it.
And there's also like what some people don't realize when you're looking at a $30 mass-produced RDA from China is that Ultim that's in that RDA is not real Ultim.
Right.
You can look at the cost of the difference in the Lost Vape Ultim mod. That was what I think $280 was retail price on it. Right. The Ultim drone, and everybody was shocked because you could get Ultim that cheap. And then, of course, as soon as someone asked Lost Vape, they said, "Well, it's not actually real Ultim; it's Ultim colored plastic."
It's just
well, no, theirs is just polycarbonate.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and that's the same way with the Pulse. I'm not sure if it's real Ultim. I know a couple of other RDAs that are using Ultim, and most of the drip tips from China that are Ultim are just polycarbonate. So there is an additional cost of materials there.
Right.
It could have been machined cheaper and some corners cut, yes, but I think 90 for what it is and what it comes with. I think $90 is a good price.
Yeah,
it's just me.
I think being American made, it's worth it. But I can understand people not wanting to jump into that.
This is one of my daily vapes, a Recurve. I think I gave $30 for it. It's a good RDA.
And is the vape that much different than a $90 RDA? Probably not. But again, on the high end level, quite frankly, I mean, $90 is not that expensive on the high end level. I mean, there's RDAs out there that are $230.
Oh yeah.
So look what the Nardas
look at what the Nardas and the Skyfalls are bringing. You're looking at anywhere from $600 to $900 now.
Yeah, if you can get one.
Right.
If you can get one. So there's a market for it.
To me, $90 is a happy balance. I think Jay could have charged 120, 130 all day long and made a little more profit on it. But I think $90 is a good balance.
I think so too.
Yeah, and I mentioned that yesterday during the review. A product that's made in America. It's my personal preference.
I do too.
Tom, I'm vaping a stacked copper Dreamer with 230Ts in it. He asked in chat.
And I think that it's about 50-50. Looking in the chat, seeing people that would pay and wouldn't pay. And one thing I try to be very conscious of, because I'm frugal. I'm frugal about money. Like I like to look for deals. I'm a flea market guy.
Yeah.
I go to flea markets on the weekends, and I people are like, yeah, it's flea. I don't care. I go there and I look for deals. I really do. Me too. I don't buy stuff new. I always buy stuff like I go to like the Goodwills and stuff and buy used stuff because I think you can find values there. And so I think that's one thing about like how I want to do the channel for the reviews is what is the value. And I still think to this day, the Jenna is a great value at $90 because I do think it very easily could have been, it could have been priced at $130, $140. I really do.
Right. I mean, look what the Citadel costs.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's fair, but I totally understand people that only want to vape something for $30.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you find a Wasp Nano for $5 and it works great for you, then fucking vape the hell out of it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, if you got whatever works for you, it doesn't matter how much you spend.
That's right.
If you're going to use it, then it doesn't matter either way. All right. We are coming up, dude. Can you believe it's almost an hour already?
Jennifer's in chat. I love you, baby. Hashtag money is no problem.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you. All right. So one thing I want to mention, we're going to do an after show in the Zoom room. So
hang on. I got one more question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Citadel or Jenna? Jenna by a touch, but the obvious answer is both if you can. Go ahead, Scott.
I don't have a Citadel, so I don't know. I just have the Jenna.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't get the Citadels because I was like, I'm getting the Jenna, and I don't think
you need both, in my opinion.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little after show in the Zoom room after. So we'll unlock the room after this. After the show's over, come jump in if you can. I'll put the Zoom room information in the Discord so you guys can jump in there. It's already there. I think it's pinned. But I'll throw it in there again, right?
Yeah, if you could throw a top post on Patreon maybe too, so people can hop in. Y'all hop in Zoom for the after party.
It's gonna be a party.
We're getting
everybody in the hot tub.
If you don't have Zoom, you just go download it. It's free. You put the room number in that Scott's gonna give you, and we party and get wild in the hot tub.
So yeah, it's gonna get wild. I'll probably turn my green screen back on. So
we do things in the hot tub that you can't even do on YouTube.
You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it on YouTube. Not the stuff that we're gonna do. It's gonna be. So, there's no no pants in the vape hot tub at all.
I might talk Jennifer into coming in the hot tub for a few minutes.
I would like that a lot.
I'm going to see if she'll come in.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it has been Charlie. Would you like to say anything before we get out of here?
Y'all have a good time. Come join us. It was a great show. Come join us next week. I've got something kind of special planned for the show, so you're definitely gonna want to see it. Yeah.
Specials are nice.
Yeah. I can't say more than that, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun.
Does it involve playmates in the hot tub?
I can't say anymore.
Oh Lord, that would be fantastic. I'd like to have a couple of playmates in the hot tub with me.
I bet you would. Am I not your playmate, Scott?
You're 100%.
All right, that's what I need to do.
We should have a hot tub calendar. It's just be you with your shirt off every day.
Yeah, I'm better with the shirt on. I'm actually having problems. My moobs are actually catching my t-shirt, so I'm gonna have to start working out a little more.
Don't worry about that. It's all downhill, Charlie. Trust me, it's all downhill. When you get to 45, you don't care. All right, guys. Hey, thanks everybody for joining. Love you guys. You guys are great. Make sure you jump over. If you're not a member of the Patreon, jump in. It's $5. Links below. And if you want to come into the Zoom room, I'm going to throw it into the Discord. So join us in there. We'll be in there hanging out. Everybody, thanks for watching. Tomorrow on the Vape at 5, we have Rigged Friday. We got huge giveaways tomorrow. Huge. I got M.Terk. We got a $25 gift certificate from Adore. 260 mils from ChainVapes. We got 3 sets of coils from Mr. M.Terk himself. We also have, for the patrons, I'm going to be giving away a stacked Odom, copper stacked Odom mech mod, which is a fucking unbelievable giveaway. We're going to be doing that. And then we also on Facebook, if you have not joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. I'm giving away a topside tomorrow. All you have to do is find the post that is pinned to the top and invite 2 really cool, nice people into our group, and you'll be entered to win. That ends tonight at midnight, so get entered in that. I'll be doing that tomorrow as well. We will see you tomorrow, and the Vape Hot Tub will be back. Same time, same place, 5 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic night. We will see you again. And if you're recovering, stay strong. I promise I will too.
That's right.
Yeah.